We've got my flour, we've got my cereal, we've got a cookbook, and we have a ruler. Extremely professional. And fingers crossed that this phone does not fall. Yeah. Hi, I'm Scott. I'm a video producer for NYT Cooking, and this is a video about bread. I love bread, but I've never actually made bread. It's just always felt like such a project, and I've never set enough time aside for it. But like many of you, like many of us right now, I find myself with an abundance of time on my hands, and suddenly this big project of making bread feels just like a little bit more achievable. It also just so happens that one of the most popular and searched for recipes on NYT Cooking right now is this no-knead bread. I think this is a good place to start. Very simple, very few ingredients. It's like flour, water, yeast, and salt. There's other stuff. I don't know. I gotta look at the recipe. So I, as somebody that's never made bread before, I will walk you through how it's made, how I do it, and hopefully it turns out okay. All right, we have salt, yeast, water, flour. I'm using bread flour because I have it, but you can also use all-purpose. And everything just goes into this bowl, and that's it. And while I've never made bread before, I have made things like pizza dough, and I've made like sweetbreads. If need be, I will call in an expert, but I think we should be in good shape. And then instant yeast. Just a 1/4 teaspoon of that. And then in goes the water. And the recipe says just mix this together until it's combined, and then it just gets left overnight. Ta-da! And we'll just cover this and see it in the morning. We're back. We've got our dough. See all of the bubbles on top, which is, based on the recipe, the right sign. So now we're gonna turn this out, give it a few folds, save this. You're gonna cover it in just a second. I'm gonna flour it a little bit more. And get flour on my hands, pat it a little bit. Again, you're not kneading the bread, and you just wanna make sure it's not sticking to the surface. I'm gonna fold it, fold it, fold it, and fold it. And I think that's it. Cover it and let it sit for 15 minutes before its final rise. All right, we're 15 minutes later. The dough has just been sitting here resting. And now for the final shaping and rising. Ooh, it's a little sticky. Again, I'm not kneading it, I'm just like helping shape it. We're gonna set it there. One second, now we're gonna take a towel. A lot of comments also say you can use parchment here. And then you can sprinkle this with either flour or wheat bran or cornmeal. I have cornmeal, so we're gonna go with that. Set this in here. It says seam side down, so I think this is the seam. Cover that and let it rise for 2 hours. Then about an hour and a half, which means it's time to preheat the oven. Put this Dutch oven into the oven to get it piping hot, because that's what we're gonna cook our bread in. It's gonna be like a mini oven inside of your oven, is how I understand it. Preheat the oven to 450, put the lid on this guy, and then put it in. Has preheated. Let's check on the dough. Oh, yeah, that looks cool. It's like definitely doubled in size. It's super airy. Apparently it's not supposed to really spring back when you push it, which I don't think that did. I feel like this looks good. I'm gonna take the Dutch oven out of the oven and set it right here, and then working quickly, I'm going to try and flip this out onto my hand and then drop it into the hot oven and have it so that what's the bottom right now becomes the top. That's where the seam was, and that's apparently what will like open up when it's cooking. Moment of truth. It says to give it a shake a little bit if you need to like just even it out its placement. One of my favorite lines in the recipe says, it may look a bit of a mess, but it will even out in the oven. So let's hope that that happens here. We're gonna cover it and put it back in. And that's gonna bake for 30 minutes. Also, I made an absolute mess. Okay, we're at 30 minutes. I'm gonna take the lid off and we're gonna see if we have bread. And I'm trying to do this one-handed. It's hot. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, this goes back in for about 20 more minutes. It's time. Oh my goodness, it's hot. Ooh, it's beautiful. It sounds like I need another hand. I actually left it in there for like 3 more minutes because my biggest fear is under baking the bread, but it's coming out now. Pretty. I'll show you. Wow. So looking at it, because my Dutch oven is so big, I think my bread is, ooh, it's hot, is probably, maybe it's slightly flatter. I don't have any like clear crease crack line in it either, but I also don't care about that. I feel like this looks so good. Oh yeah. Wow. Cornmeal, I think, makes it look like way more like rustic and homey, and I don't know, I'm happy with the shape. Do you hear that? My bread is like making cracking noises. If you know why my bread is making noises, let me know. Here's the thing. I want to cut it. The moment of truth. I know we've had a few of those. Ooh, it's extremely crusty. Oh my god. Look at that. I can't believe how bubbly it is. Wow. That is so cool. I did not expect it to be so like airy. Wow. I'm gonna try one in slow motion. Really, what else to say other than I'm extremely impressed. Good bread, good butter. Really, what more do you need? This is really good. Wow, the cornmeal makes it the crust so, sorry, I don't know what this angle is. The cornmeal makes it so crusty and crunchy. It's really, really good. Look. It's just like so light and spongy. It's really nice. Oh, so good. Do you hear that crunch? I'm sorry if this is gross. Would make again. That's the no-knead bread. I truly have never made bread before. This was my first go at it. There were no tricks. There is a wow factor that I wasn't actually expecting from this. Such little work involved, and you get like pretty amazing payout. I love this. Hopefully this has been helpful, and I wish everybody luck in trying this recipe.